our Riviera menu change is worth it?
Princess Bear, today we're at Disney's Riviera Resort because they have called us back to the rooftop.
We are going to Topolino's.
Yes, some things on the menu have changed. It's your number one choice of foodie infotainment. We're here to try the things so you don't have to. So she's vegan. I'm not. I hope the view is as good as the food.
It's time to foodie and chill. Coming to Topolino's since it opened, and in 2019 when it opened, you got like so many of these antlers of bread that you could be a deer. Now there's two of us, we got two, and these are actually meant to represent like a wheat stalk, not really antlers, but wheat, and they are very pointy. They're very dangerous. If you are a parent, I would say take the pointy part for yourself and do not give it to your child. And then they give you a Jean Reno olive oil, which is beautiful to dip with, but it's a little far away, so I'm just going to eat it by itself. It's a little dry. I don't remember it being this dry in the past. Maybe that's because I usually soak it in oil, and I did not do that this time. That's on me. But I do love this bread. Used to be able to get it for breakfast also, but they don't offer that anymore for breakfast. They only offer cookies. So if you want the good classic bread that you used to be able to get at Topolino's breakfast, come for dinner. Dinner is a whole different experience than breakfast, in my opinion. Both are worth it.
My personal headcanon with this bread is going to be that they stopped giving us so much because they were afraid of us using these as weapons. I suppose if a zombie apocalypse ever breaks out at Walt Disney World, I'm coming here for my defense weapons. I kid. But these things are really sharp. I've literally sliced my mouth open on this bread multiple times in the years we've been coming here. But I will say, before anything, that they do have the best olive oil experience on property, by far. It's really about the quality and the bread and the olive oil combined that make this bread so good. The bread is a drier bread. You pair with the olive oil, you get that aroma of the olive sort of like wafting through your mouth without going overboard. You get that olfactory experience. And the bread is that nice powdery, just soaks it right up. Excellent experience. I think it's because they have such a good bakery on property already, in addition to the fact that they have the Jean Reno olive oil. I would give it 4.75 out of 5 plus. Still top tier bread.
This is my second time enjoying the Fritto Misto. First time I had it was in October when it first came out, and I was really excited for it because it was a delicious new addition. These pieces they'll give you are so large. The best part, though, is this white balsamic gel that it comes with. For a dish that is like breaded and fried, it is so light and fluffy and citrusy and just perfect in every way. It is what I would aspire to make if I was going to be doing like crunchy veggies like this. My only complaint is that the pieces are really large. You definitely have to knife and fork it, and the mushroom pieces are even larger. I'd want them to be a little bit more bite-sized so that they're a little more consumable. I do think that this is a shareable dish. Not, like, this is definitely a portion for two. I don't think this is a portion for one. If I don't share this with Bear, I'm going to need a box for it. But it is delicious, and I love that it's here. So I will give it a 4.5 out of 5 Fritto Misto.
The Fritto Misto, this thing has become legendary in the minds, at least us, as far as foodies go. It's still like one of, I think, the most surprising and unique appetizers on property. It sits somewhere in between like a traditional fritter and like a Japanese tempura veggie. But that is not at all a bad thing. I'm going to take some of that. I'm going to steal one of these peppers. And I'm going to eat it. I love the way that they managed to maintain the integrity of both the veggies and the crunch. The veggies have a nice like bite to them. And at the same time, while the breading is really thin, really light, you definitely get that crunch, and that goes a long way towards selling the dish without it feeling like overly heavy or weighed down by the fact that it's both breaded and fried. I love the presentation. That is a massive portion. This is definitely an app I say that I would agree with the princess. You should share. But it's still, I think, one of the best plant-based appetizers you can find at Walt Disney World. I would say easily top 5. Ooh. Maybe that's a video for us. Top appetizers, plant-based appetizers at Walt Disney World. Leave a broccoli emoji if you want to see that video. I would give this still a 5 out of 5 claws. It's on the bare necessities list. I'm not vegan, and I love this dish. There was one thing that they seem to love here at Topolino's for an appetizer and enhancement. It's pork belly. We've had pork belly here a couple of ways. They've like switched around the pork belly and like reimagined it from the last time we were here. So this one was previously an enhancement, but now it's a full-on appetizer with sort of like things change around and added to it. So it's a Brussels sprout dish with pork belly. So you get like a Maple-Thyme vinaigrette in here, sweet drop peppers, and then there's also chunks of pork belly in here somewhere. I feel like Indiana Jones, sort of like excavating this to find out where everything is. But like Indy, the best way is to just jump in and figure it out later. I'm gonna take a brussy. Is that the pork belly? I can't tell. Yeah. Nope, that's still brussy. Either way. I had doubts about the Maple-Thyme. I'm not gonna lie. But it actually helps cut some of that like high level sweetness you get with like maple that you want just cooked into something. So it doesn't taste like overly sweet. It's like a candied. It's more savory, especially if you have like the flavors of like the pork belly fat in there, the sweet drop peppers, that little like kick of spice. Not like spicy, but just like a nice little like spark in there. A little electricity, if you will. That is a super tasty Brussels sprout. And honestly, even if I never discover bigger pieces of pork belly, I am satisfied. I would give it 4 out of 5 claws.
This is my first time having Agnolotti at Topolino's. I have had tortelloni, I have had pasta, like just general, like a rigatoni pasta. I've had the stuffed cabbage. I've had every vegan dish that they've offered since this restaurant has opened. Agnolotti has not been one of them. The most recent one that I had was at Ale and Compass. That one is still on the menu. Previous ones that I have had that are no longer on the menu are Yachtsman Steakhouse. That one was terrible. And then there was one at Turf Club back in the day. That one was a carrot one. It was okay. This one I'm excited for. This is a lot more of the pasta than I have experienced on other like Disney restaurants. So I'm excited for this. This is like a wall of Agnolotti. I'm just going to bring one here into the fold with the sauces and everything. And let's just... I don't think I can eat a whole one. Let me just cut it in half here. And grab a half. It's about time they had a new entree at Topolino's. I gotta say that. The filling is like a root vegetable, and it tastes like tagine. Like a really nice tagine without the couscous. It's literally what it tastes like. The sauce is amazing. It just makes it saucy. It's actually a little spicy too. I would say it's like a 4 out of 10 on the heat scale. It is amazing. It is probably the best iteration of vegan pasta I have been able to get at Topolino's since this restaurant opened. And you can, if you're not vegan, add a protein to this too. So if you're intimidated by the vegan dish, don't be. Just enjoy it the way you want to. And I think you should, because this is amazing. I would give this a 4.75 out of 5 Agnolotti. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to finish this. This is a huge portion. I don't know when in Topolino's portions get so large. I love it though.
Agnolotti is a whole lottie on this plate because it is literally like a stack like an old-timey English, like, wall of, like, a ranch or a property. Like, it's big. Plus, you have all the sauces. You have this filling. It's so tempting to just, like, dive right in. But, like, you want to experience everything. I think more than anything, it's the filling of the Agnolotti that's so interesting because it's such, like, a unique flavor. They say root vegetables. I feel like it's more than one. I feel like I'm detecting, like, a little bit of, like regular potato, but then there's sweet potato in there, and, like, something else that I can't place, but it's got, like, this nice earthy, sweet flavor to it that goes very well with the Agnolotti as a whole, and then with the sauce and the carrot pesto, you're just getting this all in, like, very much from the garden, earthy sort of flavors with a hit of sweet, a little bit of a kick, and it just sells the pasta. Like, it's very good. It's a very unique character, but, like, main character syndrome, like, in the best way for a dish. I'm impressed. The stuffed cabbage here was very, very good with that, like, ash they had on the plate, but, like, this, same level of, like, execution category. I like it. Give that 4.5 out of 5 claws. So the main menu here, as far as the entrees for me, haven't changed much. It's a lot of the same. Seasonal vegetables switched out, but, like, the main courses are exactly the same. So I've had a lot of dishes on this menu. I've had the duck à l'orange. I've had the sole twice. I've had the beef cheeks here, which is very surprising, but not something I would order all the time. So I decided to go for the striped bass. I'm a little afraid because our server hesitated. He's like, well, after I ordered the striped bass, he's like, are you interested in the sole, though? I'm like, that felt like a hint. Like I was going the wrong way. But I haven't tried it. And we like to try things here. So I'm going all in on the striped bass. There's a chicken jus on the bottom, and then it sits on top a bed of fingerling tomatoes, fingerling potatoes, and there's some tomatoes and everything else here on the backside. But first, I just want the fish. It's nice and flaky, skin on, but it's not, like, tough. It comes off pretty easy. I worry a lot with fish served skin on that the skin might be too powerful a flavor, because for a lot of fishes it is. It holds a lot of, like, that briny flavor you get with seafood in there. But if not seasoned and taken into account correctly, it can be much, like way too much. This is perfect. Like, you have the texture there. It doesn't overpower, like, the main flesh of the fish, so it's really tasty. I like it. It's very light. Sole is a good fish, but it's, like, not one of my favorites, so I was not looking forward to ordering that. Even so far, I have no regrets about ordering this one. A fish by itself, I'm giving 4 out of 5 claws. Now I'm going to dive back in, pun intended, but I want the fish, I want some of this chicken jus, I want these fingerling potatoes. I'm going to come around back here underneath this huge salad and try to fish out a tomato or two, because those are mentioned in the description. I want those. And then I want a full majesty bite. There we go. Here's the thing. I love the fish. Fingerling potatoes are nice. Tomatoes are great. Chicken jus has a very good flavor, but I feel like you need to be very sparing about how much you put on the fish when you bite it, because it makes the whole thing really salty. Almost too much. It's almost like the chicken jus comes off as like a thickened bouillon almost. So, like, if you've ever, like, licked bouillon off, like, a spoon when you were, like, had leftover, like, that, like, hit of the saltiness, that's sort of what, like, too much of the jus at once tastes like. That in itself can be a little overpowering. I still love the dish, just gotta back off the jus a little bit. I'm giving the dish, I'm gonna remain at the 4, but I would still order this over the salt. We have the most beautifully presented enhancement. This actually is new on the menu. Is this Gulf but grilled shrimp, butterflied and sort of put down in this trinity of sea roach on top of the bed of the sauce. It looks beautiful, but all beautiful things are eventually ruined by me because I'm a bear. Cut off a piece here. Serve tail on, and yes, I've given up the tail on fight. Let's see how they did. I love the smokiness that the grill flavor sort of like invites or sort of like imbues in the shrimp, but it's kind of dry and it's served cold, which is a choice, not a bad choice. It's just odd to me to serve an enhancement of shrimp chilled with an entree, but I guess, I've gotten chilled shrimp as an appetizer with my meal at Narcoozies, so I guess it's really not that odd. I'm more thrown off by how like dry it is. It's almost overcooked. It doesn't have that springiness the shrimp normally has. Like it gets tough near the center, but I like the flavor that I get from the grilling. So I'm torn. I don't think it's bad. I just don't know if it works so much as an enhancer. If I had this as an appetizer, I'd probably be disappointed. Oh, I give that 3.25 out of 5 claws. I will, however, since this is an enhancement to my main, I want to see what it tastes like with both the sauce that's on this plate, which I already got a little bit on there, and the jus from my main, the chicken jus. A little dip in there. So chicken jus and my shrimp enhancement. I definitely think it's a complementary flavor profile, but there's something about the toughness of the shrimp I still don't like. It's really throwing me off. I'm keeping the 3.25 out of 5 claws. Get it if you're curious, but to me it's kind of a skip.
The passion fruit whiskey sour has been on the menu since the beginning, and it is always a treat. I think we've had it before. Delicious, fruity, with some Jameson in there. It is a treat. It is like melted popsicle. I would give it a 5 out of 5. It is a Princessities item. I put it up there with the Hollywood Brown Derby pomegranate whiskey sour. 2 really good whiskey sours.
There's a long list of things, both food and beverage-wise, I never would have discovered and or drank had it not been for Walt Disney World. That's part of the reason why this is so much fun for us, because we discover new things. We've always been foodies. We've always had like exotic tastes for different foods, but you don't usually find one place where you're going to encounter so many different varieties of food or beverage in one place. Kronenberg is one of those ones that I got addicted to very on going to Epcot, especially at the festivals. Kronenberg, they had the 1664. This is the 1664 Blanc, a white ale, which I have not had. Cheers. It's given very much Blue Moon-esque. Notes of citrus, very wheaty, very light, crisp. Very nice, and does fit the atmosphere. I'll give that 4.5 out of 5 claws. Dinner was a gift.
It was an experience.
I think that the new Agnolotti is a great replacement for the stuffed cabbage they had previously. I think my enhancement was a de-hancement, almost.
I wish that they had added the Agnolotti and not removed the stuffed cabbage, because now you're just left as a vegan with pasta and pasta as your options. But like the Agnolotti was very thought-provoking and I felt avant-garde, so like I'm here for it.
It feels very good, and it feels better than their last attempt at pasta we had this place.
Oh my gosh, yeah, the tortelloni we actually sent back. It was like one of very few dishes we've actually sent back, doing reviews for 7 years now.
7.5 years, we've sent back 3 plates, and that was because they were literally inedible.
Yes.
Because like we didn't want to like eat them.
And one of them was at Topolino, so they definitely have gone from one end of the spectrum to the other.
Yes. So, but we know what you guys think. As always, we eat this food, but we want to know your opinions too. The community opinion matters. Let us know what you thought about the new dish and my dish in the comments below. As always, if there's anything else you can see us do, that will always be the place to find us. Hit the notification bell if you want to see other videos like this, and
we have new videos 5 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday.
We'll see you soon.
Be sure to subscribe and like this video. And if you don't comment, Bear's gonna yeet himself into one of these Riviera DVC model rooms and lock himself in there until somebody feeds him or doesn't, and he just, I don't know, vanishes?
Sounds like an adult lock-in. I like it. But you heard the girl.